paramotors are expensive as but we want them so bad we end up forking over the money anyways. The experience that it affords us is worth every penny of it. But paramotors aren't all that special when you really look up close to them. It's a 2-stroke motor, a frame, a harness, a propeller, and some bolts that hold it all together. But this last couple of weeks I've had a lot of time to really look into this Gravity Defiant that I now own, and I found that it is a paramotor. It's not really special. I mean, it is in ways. I'm going to give you a lot more information on that, and I'm going to tell you why I think that you should really consider getting a Gravity Defiant for your next paramotor, or if you've never flown a paramotor, for your very first flying machine.
Three, two, one. Welcome aboard, everybody. We're flying the Gravity Defiant. I'm flying over some pretty rocky terrain where the air gets a little bit turbulent, but I have so much confidence in this machine right now. I'm stoked. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into several different categories as mentioned in the beginning of this video. Let's jump right in with the price. $5,500 is incredible. For the price that other people might pay for a paramotor, a brand new paramotor from some other competitor, you'll miss out on getting your glider that you want. Maybe you'll compromise and be like, well, I got a really good paramotor and I'll get an okay glider. No, realistically in this sport, you want to get the best glider, like performance, a glider you can trust, because that's your lifeline right there. This right here is what makes it happen. This is the paramotor, and at $5,500, that's just like such an awesome price tag for something like this. Performance, this thing is rocking the Moster 185 Plus, which is the engine alone costs $2,800. The Moster 185 Plus is the most trusted motor on the market. It's the MY20 that it comes with, a 2020 Moster 185, and it's got just a ton of power. It kicked me up to this altitude really quickly, where I'm now soaring above the Franklin Mountains. And I'm just using some weight shift, having some fun. But it's very, very reliable. This engine will last you about 300 hours. It could go a little more, actually. Like my last one, it went a little bit longer. I had a Moster 185 on that paramotor that cost me $8,300. But more into the frame. More into the design of what Gravity has done with this paramotor right here. A lot of people in the paramotor community, like those who follow it really closely, have been really excited to see this Gravity Defiant paramotor because it's such a unique design. Let me see if I can pitch you back here real quick. Check out that tank. You see that? I've got my camera extended behind me so you can see this single component tank that's also housing the engine. Everything about it is built into this. It's insane. I'm going to chop power real quick so you can get a nice smooth image of this thing in flight. Check it out. Totally unique design. Woo! Beautiful night for flying, by the way. One of the really cool things about this tank is the way that it dampens vibrations. Like, I'm really impressed with how smooth this flight is. That's also a huge thing that people ought to consider when looking at purchasing a paramotor, is how comfortable it is. And really, I'll be honest, a lot of the comfort is dependent on the harness that you're flying. Gravity Defiant does an extra step by having this tank that has some give, like in an appropriate amount that dampens the vibrations. And then it's coupled with this sup air harness that has like really soft seats. The backrest is really comfortable. I tell you, if I was a cross-country pilot, which I'm really not, I'm more of like an aggressive paramotor pilot, but if I was a cross-country pilot, I would really benefit from having a harness like this because I could sit in this for hours and stay comfortable. One thing I'm not crazy about on this Gravity Defiant, particularly in the harness, in spite of it being so comfortable, I don't like the buckles very much. If we were to look back at when I was about to take off, you may see me actually fumbling with the buckles just a little bit. And these are perfectly safe, like industry standard clips. It's just, I have a preference for Dudek's power seat comfort. It's really my biggest gripe about this paramotor, but still, for the price you pay, like, you will simply overlook not having the luxury of the Cobra clips. Now, practicality. Overall, this Gravity Defiant still performs really well. By practicality, what I mean is how easily can I get this paramotor from my house to wherever it is that I'm going to be flying. And for me, this is a non-issue because I own a truck and I simply place this paramotor in the back of my truck and I drive to the field, take it out, start it up, as you saw in the beginning of this video. But some of you watching this video who are interested in getting into paramotoring may not have a truck. Well, you're in luck because this paramotor does break down, and it breaks down really easily and really quickly. Simply put, all you do is you undo a line that connects, that tightens this hoop section. Then your hoop section is able to come off, and then you take the spars off and you put it all in your vehicle. Oh, and you got to take off the propeller. Sorry, I forgot that one step. All in all, it takes about 4 or 5 minutes. If you're willing to pay $3,000 more to get a minute off of that setup time, I don't want to be your financial advisor. This thing has everything. Safety. As far as safety goes on this paramotor, I can slide right out of this harness. I'm sliding out. I'm leaning back. I'm leaning forward. I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I feel really secure. I'm thousands of feet up, right? Watch this. I'm just going to pop forward. And I'm not going anywhere. Not only that, but I've also got a reserve compartment. So if anything were to happen to this glider, I feel really confident because I've got this reserve container that's also made by Gravity. So awesome, awesome setup. There's also a place where I could keep a second reserve if I wanted to. And so it makes me feel safe. For doing something like paramotoring, as intimidating as this sport can be, being that we're thousands of feet up, I feel really safe flying this. So all in all, I'm stoked. I'm glad I got to whip out the Dudek Universal. Fantastic glider. Super safe if you're getting into the sport. This is an awesome setup that you should consider. A Universal with a Gravity Defiant. Man, you are going to have it made. Something else that's often overlooked about a paramotor is the company that's backing it. And what I really love about Gravity paramotors is that it is an American paramotor. Like, that is very, very rare to have an American paramotor company. And it's not only an American paramotor company, it's veteran owned. And so I just think that's badass, and I like to support the troops. And I know the owners, I've had them on my podcast. They're genuine, really kind people. They want people's feedback. I've told them about my little tiny gripe about the the buckles, which I'm probably the only person who bitches about something like that. And they take it really well. They're just truly considerate about individuals who want to get into the sport. So I highly encourage you to check them out. All right, so the thing I want to talk about is this hoop section right here is so strong, which is going to be fantastic for those who are new to the sport or who are just accident prone like myself. Like, this hoop section is really strong compared to my other paramotors that I've had. It's robust and it's not going anywhere, right? Like, I could bop this thing into the ground and it's tough, and that's what you want when you're looking for a new paramotor, or especially for your first paramotor. Now, that said, there's other components that have to be strong when talking about paramotors, right? So it's not only impact resistant, but it's also resistant to extremely high Gs. I'm not really on the baddest wing on the market. This thing is an awesome wing, but I can make it go pretty hard. Gotta get that outside brake. Let's whip it around and get some G's on it. Okay, okay. Oh yeah. Oh man. Fantastic. We're pulling some G's and some spirals, and these arms are just built like tanks. They've had individuals doing front flips, like the most G-inducing maneuver on a paramotor. They've been doing testing with these arms, and they've held up beautifully. So I've got a ton of trust as far as, you know, being safe up in the air. They've also got some safety mechanisms built into it so that, God forbid, these were to break, which they won't, because it would take thousands of pounds for these to break. But they're just over-engineered. They've got a high-strength, like, parachute cord. I'm butchering this, but it's some really strong stuff. Man, my ears are like popping from that high altitude. So overall safety is like A+ bang up job. Really, really good. I like it. I like it a lot. We're getting really close to sunset, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and land it. I had a great time. I'm gonna carry this amazing feeling with me all the way to bed tonight and have awesome dreams of more of this, I hope. Right on.
I want you to consider this paramotor for the cost. I want you to consider it for the durability. I want you to consider it for how safe it can be. Consider it for the company, being that it is an American veteran-owned paramotor company, and that is huge for us. Go USA. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you did find it helpful, perhaps share it with one of your friends who is interested in getting into the sport, as well as leaving it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos of flying adventures on this gravity Defiant paramotor and just other things paramotor related in general. Until next time, I will see you guys later.